Hello guys, it's me Butterfly Spirit 314. So guys, I wanted to tell you guys about my pole dance class today. So I took a class. It was a freestyle pole class. So this is a pretty much an all level pole dance class. And basically, it's a class where we learn how to find our own particular pole dance style. And like we work on more so crafting that. So I took this class once before, and when I took it the first time, I didn't really have that many pole dance moves to really like to use. And this time when I took the class, then what I did was that I incorporated some of the pole dance moves that I've learned and some new pole dance moves that I've learned as well in order to like to combine into like different routines and stuff like that. So I still consider myself to be a very much a beginner in pole and everything, even though I've been doing it for a year and some months. I guess by the time I get to the end of the year, I guess I'd say I've been doing it 2 years or something like that. Anyway, so in this class, well, in this video, sorry, I want to talk about what I liked in this class, what I didn't like in this class, and just to kind of give you guys kind of a feel of it and everything. So I had the class at noon today. I'm pretty tired. After I got out of the class, I actually felt pretty sick because um, I did a lot of pole dance spin moves. And so those moves made me a bit dizzy. Also, because I didn't eat before pole class, which was a big no no. So I should have eaten something, but I didn't. So when I left my pole dance class, I felt pretty sick because my body didn't have any fuel or anything. So I guess it kind of serves me right in a way. Normally, when I take pole dance class and like, let's say I don't eat breakfast or something, like I don't normally, like it doesn't normally bother me. But I guess in this case, it kind of did. I guess because sometimes I guess I'll eat, or sometimes I won't be doing as much continuous movement. In this particular class, I'll kind of tell you what contributed to me feeling a bit sick and everything. I didn't go in class sick. I didn't go in there. No, I wasn't sick going in. Um, but I did exert a lot of energy in this particular class and stuff. So in our class, we get prompts of how to craft our own particular style with pole dancing, like creating routines and stuff. So, and those prompts help us to work on different areas towards creating routine and stuff. So, at first, when I took the class, I was kind of a little worried and stuff. But this time around, I'm like, it's fine. I'm just going to go in here and work on things that, I feel like I want to and stuff. I notice I have some go to moves and stuff that I like to go to and everything that I kind of noticed that I've been kind of using over and over and stuff. But in my routines, I try to like mix it up a little bit. So, anyway, so let's get to my likes. So, what I like about this class is that I get to create my own unique style and I get to discover my own style. So I get to discover whether I like to do pole dance spins more or whether I like to do non-spinny sort of moves. And I like the spin moves. I think they're fun to do. Like when I do a pirouette, or what I called in one of my videos recently, I called it a pole twirl or something like that, because people know what it means to twirl. So I'm like, in a pirouette, people probably wouldn't know what that is. So it's basically a pole dance move where we will twirl on the pole. So that kind of makes it a little simpler and kind of breaks it down instead of me saying a pirouette. A pirouette is also something that is in ballet, which looks completely different. But I like doing the pole dance pirouettes. They're so cute and so feminine, and I really like them. They're really fun. for me to do and stuff. And I noticed that's like one of my go-to moves that I love doing. So another thing I like about this class is we get to do a warm up. So we get to warm up our bodies and stretch before we even get into this. I think we do like maybe like a 15-minute warm up or something like that. I have noticed my flexibility is a lot better because I'm able to do moves like what you call like a pigeon. I'm able to do that on both sides of my body a lot easier because I've been doing yoga pretty much every day, and that's helped me become more limber and flexible. I've also noticed that it's helped my straddles get better. So I posted a video on my YouTube channel where it was called straddles. So that's where the teacher said straddle. That's why I named it straddle. And I showed you guys what a straddle looks like. It was a part of one of my routines anyway. So my straddle is getting better. And what that means is that I'm able to open my legs up in a V further than I was able to before, which is really great. And I have been doing yoga exercises in order to be able to do more to like increase like my straddle with my legs. So that's helpful. And I think it's more fun. And I'm noticing that as well. In the exercises and stretches, I noticed some familiar moves like the pigeon and like the straddle exercises in there before we got into doing pole. So before class, we warm up our bodies first, and then after that, we warm up the pole. And that's kind of something I mentioned in another video. And people might be confused about why we would warm up the pole, but if you don't warm up the pole, then you're not going to be able to do certain moves on the pole because the pole itself is cold. So different poles are made out of different materials. So I've recently been more comfortable. So the pole that I dance on, I think now, I think one I normally dance on in my other studio. That one is, I believe, stainless steel. The other one I dance on now, it might be chrome. I'm not sure. It could be. I don't know. But it might be. I'd have to re-ask them what it is or whatever. I'm checking my phone because I'm in the process of uploading a video to YouTube of a routine that I did in my class. So I did put together several routines and stuff. So, but I am getting used to the poles at this other studio. At first, I was kind of cold to them, but now I'm kind of like, okay, I can trust this pole. And that's something people don't know is that for a pole dancer, they have to trust the pole. Like that's something I learned. You have to trust the pole. If you don't trust the pole, if you don't trust it, then you're not going to be able to do like really cool moves on the pole if you don't know how to do it. So that's the thing. So I now trust these poles, the other studio, similar to how I trust a pole that I dance on at the studio that I regularly go to. So that's the thing, building trust with it. If I had no trust, then I would be unsure, uncertain, and worried and not able to do different pole dance moves and stuff. So I love that we do our warm up with the stretches and exercises together. That's one of my favorite things. I love that I'm learning how to discover my own style. Another thing that I love is I love seeing myself become more limber and flexible because in pole dance, we need to be flexible. We can't be robots. Like we can't be looking like, like this, you know what I mean? And like we can't be moving in ways that look robotic. Okay. We have to move in a more flowy sort of way, which allows our performance to be better. Hold on one second. I gotta grab something. Okay, I'm back. I had to grab something out the oven. Otherwise, it would have burned and I would have been happy with my dinner. So, had to get it. So, another thing that I really feel like I like, this is something I just popped in my head. I like how each of us in class we actually got to pick a song. So our instructor was like, okay, well, pick a song. Like she asked me, like towards the end of the class, she's like, okay, what song do you want us to play? Like, what's the song that's like stuck in your head or something and stuff. And I was like, really? And I picked the song Thong Song by Cisco. Many people know that song. Pretty cool summer song. Anyway, I really like Thong Song. It's really fun. So we got to dance to songs that we liked. We danced to some songs that the instructor liked. It was really fun, and I like being included like that for people to like hear a song that I like or whatever, you know. I think that was fun. And we got to dance to like I got to dance to other girls like songs they liked. And that was really fun and I think it made it more like it made it more fun and chill and relaxed. And in dance, if you're not having fun, then what are you doing if you're not having any fun? You know, because that's what, you know, the freestyle is about is like you're creating a routine that's fun that you enjoy doing. I am going to say it is tiring. Okay. And like I said earlier, I did get dizzy. I actually did. Um, I got pretty dizzy because I did a lot of spin moves in the routines I did and stuff. And now I realize it's a good idea to balance it out where I'm not always doing spins. And instead of just doing spins, I should break it up and do other stuff. So I don't get as dizzy. Okay. Another thing was here's a dislike. There is something I didn't like in class, which was that it was so hot. Like there was a point in class where like I literally was able to like I was so sweaty. Like I can literally tell like I was able to basically slide across the floor almost because my core was like sweaty. Like and like the I was able to like slide on the floor, to slide my belly on the floor because I'm gonna sweat on my stomach and stuff. That's how hot I was. And we were all hot. And I guess it's because like we really didn't stop moving. And I definitely drank my water. I probably should have brought more water than what I did. Next time I take this class, I'm definitely going to bring more water. Okay. Because we do work up a sweat in the class. Like it was, oh my gosh, it was hot. And then I got dizzy. And because I didn't eat, I became like, by the end of class, I was almost nauseous. Like, I was like, man, I feel like I could like literally like throw up. But it wasn't the class, it was the fact that I didn't eat before and I overestimated the fact that I was going to be moving the whole time, you know, nonstop movement. So I didn't factor that in. Like my other pole dance class that I take normally, that one doesn't require as much energy, but this one did. And I guess because I was doing a lot of different moves, that made a difference. And it didn't help any better that when I was on the floor doing some floor work that I did was called Vagina Monsters, and that causes me to like have to like move my obliques, like my core muscles and stuff. And that really, I think that kind of aggravated my tummy, and so that might have made me more moving towards sick and also having a headache because I was overexerting my body with literally no fuel in it. So I know to eat next time. Even if I'm eating bananas, I probably should do something like that before I go to class. Okay, definitely want to do that. I'm going to do that next time. I learned today. Okay, let's see. What's another dislike? It was hot. Oh my gosh, it was hot. And that's why, like, when I was doing a drop down the pool or slide down the pool, man, I was like tired. This is by the time I got to the second routine. I'm actually going to be posting that to my YouTube channel. Hang on, I'm actually going to post that right now. Hold on one second. I'm gonna go ahead and make it public so you guys can see this one. Okay, we're gonna save it. So in the video that I'm posting right now, I actually danced to the song by, I believe his name is Miguel. Um, I don't know the name of the song. I think it's called, damn it, I don't know what the name of the song was. Um, but let me see. Because YouTube had said, oh, you're using copyrighted music because my teacher is playing a song that was by an artist and stuff. So let me see if it tells me specifically what the song was. Or does it just say, oh, your video was blocked? Okay, yeah. So the song that I was dancing to in the video that I just uploaded. So the video I titled mine as is Pretty Little Hand Freestyle Pole Dance Routine. So that's the video I just posted. So you guys can check that out on my channel, Butterfly Spirit 314. And usually I don't have my phone out on these videos, but I'm just trying to find what the song is. So the song I danced to was Sure Thing by Miguel. So Sure Thing, slow plus reverb by Miguel. So that's why I had to change the music in the video because the music that was playing when I was in a pole dance routine was copyrighted. So I had to change that. It can be a little annoying, but I get it. They want the artist to get credit for their music, which is totally fine. Okay. I don't know why the video is like changing. Like it's like from gray to like regular and gray to regular. I don't know. My camera's probably doing something weird. Anyway, another thing that I noticed that I didn't like was the lighting of my videos. And the lighting was an issue because the pole I was using was next to a window, so there was a lot of sunlight coming through the window. That's why in the video that I posted, it's more of a like black and white sort of Vogue sort of feel to it because I wanted to dim the brightness of that video because I didn't want you guys to be totally blinded by the video because there was a lot of sunlight coming through that window. But yeah, you guys can still see me in the video for the most part and everything. So the lighting was something I did dislike, but I did pick a pole next to the window. But the great thing is I actually got to use my own pole. And it was 4 of us girls in class plus our instructor. So we each didn't have to share a pole. So, and honestly, I don't like sharing a pole anyway. Like the reason I don't like sharing a pole is because I get to, dance as much as I want and do as many moves as I want without having to trade it with somebody else and everything. So that is a big plus to me, being able to use a pole myself, because sharing a pole, I don't want to share. That's one thing I'm like selfish about is a pole. Because I like to use the pole myself. I don't want anybody having my pole. I just don't want that. So that was a thing that was great, was that I got to use my own pole. Let's see if there are any other dislikes. I dislike the fact that I can't climb the pole. But I think that was kind of my fault. I should have asked like my instructor if she can show me how to climb. I've tried climbing the pole in the past. I think I had a video where I did climb, I guess, but that was the right way to climb. So what I need to do is practice on climbing so I can get better with it and stuff. And, practice will make perfect. So it's sort of my fault that, that I didn't climb. And I think what I'll do when I take classes is ask different instructors. So ask different ones of them to show me, and depending on whose method that I like the best, then I'll climb like them. Because sometimes when you learn something from one person, you don't understand how to do it, right? But then if you learn another person's method on how to do the same thing, but they have their method, it might click for you. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. because as a beginner, I should be working on learning to climb because I think that'll take my pole dance to another level and stuff. And there's still a lot of moves that I want to learn and stuff. So there's a move that I want to learn to do, which is called um, a fairy. So I want to learn how to do that. I think that's going to be fun because there's a move I do called a back hook. If I know how to do that, then it shouldn't be hard for me to do a fairy. So I will learn how to do that and stuff. So I will get that sorted out. Trying to think if there's anything else I can think of that I can do. Oh, I tried to do a front hook and I wasn't able to do it. I was able to do an inside hook, but not a front hook. I tried so hard, but I wasn't able to do it. But I will get it one day. You know, I will figure it out. But that's the great thing about pole dance. Like, I get a chance to, like, there's so many pole dance moves and there's variations of these moves. So it's like I'm never gonna run out of anything to do, you know. And the main thing I do pole dancing, like somebody asked, like comment on one of my videos, they're like, "Are you a stripper?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not a stripper." I'm like, I just pole dance because I enjoy it and it's fun. And that's what I do it for because it's a super fun way to work out. And I encourage anybody to try a hobby that they really love. You know, anything that gets you up and active and keeps you healthy, go for it, you know. So otherwise, I'm so tired now. I need to eat my dinner. I had a little snack, but somehow I don't think that that's going to help too much. When I got home today, I did have some food, and that did help settle my stomach a lot. One thing that did help me on the way home was that I drank some cold water, and that kind of diluted the acid that was in my stomach that was making me feel sick. So that actually helped. And maybe it'll work for you guys. Like if you find yourself being like dizzy or whatever, or your stomach's upset, drinking like ice cold water can help. And it definitely can. I mean, it definitely helped me get home, you know. Now, when I got home, of course, I knew I had to have something a little salty that was going to help settle my stomach. And in addition to me having, I know solid food wasn't going to really work too well. So I needed to eat like some soft food. So I did have like a breakfast smoothie. So that was something that really helped, that had like vitamins and minerals that really helped me a lot and stuff. So it really helped. And I think I had like some protein, like some turkey, and that helped too. So, and then I think for the salt, I had like some like green olives, and that helped too. So, and I also took like some Tylenol just to kind of, you know, get rid of the pain from the headache and all that stuff, you know. But I was able to like sleep off the nausea and the headache, and I was good. So that's good. But next time when I go to class, I'm going to eat, even if I eat a banana or a couple bananas anyway, and some oranges or something, at least to give myself the energy anyway. So, and hey, I might have I might have me like a breakfast smoothie before class. That might actually help. You know, I need to get like a go-to meal to have before pole dance class. I think that would be a really good idea. So I have, you know, my body, it has the, you know, right fuel and everything for class because we do exert ourselves physically, you know, because we are moving around the pole. And we're moving around the pole, we're on the pole, we're around the pole, you know, and we're you know, it's a thing. We're staying in motion, and doing that takes a lot of energy. We're lifting ourselves up, like our body weight and everything. It's a lot, but you know what? It is fun. So anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. I know you guys, some of you guys are going to see this video later, which is totally fine. I'm completely fine with that because it is late and it'll be time for me to go to bed soon. So because I got to go to work tomorrow. But anyway, I'm gonna get me some food, go to sleep, and I'll make sure I have some protein because with pole dance, like with me doing things like lifting myself up and stuff, having protein is going to help to like build my muscles and stuff like that and stuff. And I realize that's important because as I'm like doing pole dance, like, you know, the muscles are going to build in my biceps and triceps, back, like all of my body, my muscles are going to build. So I realize that's going to be a thing that I have to make sure that I have as protein, um, you know, because that's going to be supportive for me, not just protein, but, you know, fruits, vegetables, stuff like that too, you know. So, anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys and have a great rest of your night. Bye bye.